Hello, fellow classmates. In my presentation, I'll be covering the beliefs of philosopher Martin Heidegger and his role as rector at the University of Freiburg. Martin Heidegger was born on September 26, 1889, in Meskirch, Germany, to a sexton of a local Roman Catholic church. He was born into a very poor family, but thanks to his intellectual skills, he earned himself a religious scholarship to continue his studies at a secondary school at the University of Freiburg, where he earned his doctorate in philosophy in 1913, and with a dissertation in psychologism. 2 years later, Heidegger completed his habilitation thesis, which gave him the ability to teach philosophy and his philosophies in Germany. Months after the appointment of Adolf Hitler as Chancellor of Germany, German universities were put under a lot of pressure to support the national revolution, to eliminate any Jewish scholars and the teachings of any Jewish doctrines. That same year of 1933, Heidegger was appointed as rector of the University of Freiburg by the university's teaching staff. Just a month after becoming rector of the university, Heidegger joined the Nazi Party. Soon after joining the Nazi Party, he resigned as rector of the university. But while rector of the university, Heidegger helped institute the Nazi educational and cultural programs and vigorously promoted the domestic and foreign policies of the Nazi regime. Before becoming rector in the 1920s, he had already criticized the decadent nature of the German university system, so he's kind of already with that, with the Nazi beliefs. With the question, what role did Heidegger want the German university to play in the overcoming of nihilism and the revitalization of the German nation being asked, you see that Heidegger was obviously a man of religion. Even though he rejected Catholicism and joined another, he believed that what Hitler was doing was the way to clean the German nation and make it better. He also did what he could to get rid of any Jewish scholars and took away any studying of Jewish doctrines, like he was told to. In this case, I really don't think faculty and students really had a choice whether to promote his beliefs throughout the university or not, to teach them or not, or the students promote them. As rector, I feel like Heidegger was quite demanding. He's really power hungry. He wanted things to go his way. So he's quite demanding to his faculty, and they would have to follow his ways whether they liked it or not. But when it came to the students, any younger crowd can be influenced by an elder with power. For example, Adolf Hitler and his spreadings of National Socialism. He spread it to schools, got it out. They also don't really have a choice, but it's easier to get into the minds of the young than the faculty. Heidegger began a speaking tour in the fall of 1933 on behalf of Hitler's national referendum to withdraw Germany from the League of Nations. Heidegger said in one speech, "Let not doctrines and ideas be your guide. The Führer is Germany's only reality and law." Even after resigning as rector of the university, Heidegger still continued to support Hitler years after, though with less enthusiasm than he had shown in his year as rector. Heidegger was known to change his views when it came to his writings. He's really back and forth. After writing Being in Time, Heidegger didn't like it and changed his thoughts. Even his colleague Karl Otto Appel suggested that Heidegger suffered from a forgetting of reason. He would go from one thing to another. He then became obsessive over the thought of National Socialism and the works of Hitler. He criticized the way they taught at German universities before he was even rector, and became rector himself, where he only sat for 1 year. Heidegger's thought has been faulted on other grounds as well. Some have suggested that his phenomenological method rests on a magnificent illusion, and that the search for thinking of being is merely a disguised quest for a kind of belief in God. In the same vein, others have charged that Heidegger's abstruse terminology is only a mask disguising and mystifying a more traditional approach to philosophy. Such negative evaluations, if joined with a sincere attempt to follow Heidegger's own path, thought his writings would not be incompatible with his thought. After all, he asks, or rather provokes, he wants his way or no way, his readers to question and not to listen to the answers. It is, therefore, misleading to present Heidegger's philosophy as a set of clearly understandable results. His metaphors must remain rather than be translated into the usual philosophical terminology that he rejected.